Tyra Banks is once again trending for her crimes against humanity when she was on America's Next Top Model.
The modeling industry is extremely toxic, especially back then. But there's absolutely no defending what she did to the girls behind the scenes.
And it's crazy because I used to love this show and I didn't even realize the comments they were making were toxic. But looking back, I'm like, yo, Tyra and her little crew, they were hella problematic.
The car looks better than she does. If the body could just slim down 150 pounds, that would be good.
They definitely orchestrated it to keep us slightly off kilter at all times, slightly sleep deprived, slightly hungry, slightly just unsure of what was about to happen at all times, which I think is conscientious because that produces a high emotional state, which then makes for the type of TV that they were trying to make.
Danielle, you went to the dentist, but you refused to have your gap closed. Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with the gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why not?
This is all people see. It's Easy Reads Beautiful CoverGirl. It's not marketable.
What is the most heinous photo shoot America's Next Top Model ever did?
Your black sisters are gonna shame you in the streets? Nana, I wanna see some of that African stuff. And Noelle, we're making you into a traditionally African woman with a head wrap.
The audition process was crazy, and I'd never experienced anything like it. They really make it as close to a cattle call as I've ever seen. But the initial sort of culling is just based on someone staring at your face, which I think is why people try out over and over again. They actually did a physical exam. They did drug testing, hair strand testing, urine testing, blood testing, hours of personality fill-in-the-blank testing, which I now think might have been Myers-Briggs. Next day, they had us all meet with a psychiatrist for an hour-long session. It's some pretty intense psychological testing. And I think they're trying to find the right mix of crazy. You have to provide like all of your medical records, all of your family's contact info, and they really sort of ask for your whole life story.
He goes, Lisa, I just want you to know that you're doing really great in this competition, but you need to calm down. And I'm like, you want me to calm down? If you want me to calm down, then why don't you stop antagonizing me and stop like bringing up all my childhood stuff? You know, at the time, I didn't know that it was called gaslighting.
I definitely remember her being painted as a wild child and kind of not all there. Come to find out she was dealing with childhood trauma for being SA'd at a very young age. How low do you have to be to get someone to talk about something so traumatic just for views on your show?
That said that if they said anything about production publicly or to each other, they can get sued for millions of dollars.
The part that was a little bit more difficult is they sat us in conference rooms for days on the cruise ship. We were never allowed to like go out. We weren't allowed to go to the bathroom or get water without asking permission. We weren't allowed to talk. So we would have to sit there for hours and then sit with the producers and lawyers while they basically went over the contract with us.
Tyra won't ever let me talk about it. She's always got that $5 million confidentiality agreement that doesn't let me talk. Right, Tyra?
The rules were that they were not allowed to film us in the bathroom or the shower, but only if we were alone. So if there was more than one of us in the bathroom or the shower, they were allowed to film. No idea that there was a song in this little number because they kept making us scream so loud that we couldn't hear it. And they had to do like 8 or 9 takes, so by the end of it, we were like...
I look at my grocery list, look at my receipt, check to see if I got everything I needed. Why is my cereal bar box already open?
When people start messing with, food and things like that, it's going to get really ugly.
We were given a $38 a day cash stipend that we then used to pay for food. We were not paid anything at all. So we would have this cash stipend, which we would use periodically. They would have us write out our grocery lists, like for the week. They'd be like, okay, we're doing a grocery shop. What does everybody want? And so we would write it out and they would bring it to us. We never talked about it though. It wasn't like we ever really had that much time to sort of process, like, this is crazy that we're not getting paid. It never even really occurred to me.
People see content over and over again and they don't know that you've apologized. And I don't fault them for that. That's not their fault, but it's my job to say, yes, I've apologized for it. And we're going to apologize again and keep apologizing because it was wrong.
I know that a lot of people are legitimately traumatized by what happened on the show, and they had a very different experience than I did. And I think that their stories are really important and should be heard. But I don't want to speak to them because they're not mine.